Now to politics. Saturday's local government election in Ondo State was marred by low voter turnout and logistical challenges during the early stages of the exercise across most polling centres. According to the election observers, the polls scheduled to run from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. did not commence in most polling units until around 10 a.m. in areas such as Ilutitun, Ode-Aye, Okitipupa, Ikoya, and Igbodigo within Okitipupa local government area. Polling centres were virtually empty as of 10:15 a.m. Reports indicate that officials of the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission were seen idly waiting for voters who were noticeably absent. 12 political parties are contesting the chairmanship for and councillorship positions in Ondo State. Now, join us live from Ondo State. We have political analyst Henry Olonimoyo. One welcome to you, Henry, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Henry, the local government elections and councillorship elections were held in Ondo State today, conducted by Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission. What's your assessment of the conduct of the local government elections today in Ondo State?
Yes, thank you. The election was experienced very, very poor turnout, probably because the election had been postponed on 2 or 3 occasions. Probably this is the 3rd time the election eventually held after it had been postponed twice before. Again, a lot has to be said about the capacity of the umpire, Ondo Independent Electoral Commission, to actually reach out to voters, actually communicate and generate the right kind of awareness and orientation to the populace to come out to vote. We didn't get that. Even 24 hours, 48 hours to the day of election, there were not enough sensitization awareness. There were not enough alerts on the social media about the election, and I think that has affected the turnout of the election. Then there's the other part where people are not comfortable or are not sure or are not satisfied with the credibility in a way of the umpire, because maybe the last time a local government election was held in the state is probably maybe 10 years ago. And if you look at the state of this Ondo Independent Electoral Commission, you know that we have come a long way as far as national elections is concerned in the country. But you know, some of this Ondo Independent Electoral Commission, there were some of the things that we say we want to use for the elections. These things were not properly communicated. What system of voting? I passed by some polling units today. I didn't see voters list posted, as you would have expected in a normal election. The mode of voting, some of these things were shrouded in obscurity, and I think it didn't boost confidence of potential voters to come out to vote.
Now, Henry, you mentioned a few things, voter apathy being one, and you also talked about the lack of sensitization by the electoral umpire. Local governments are the closest form of government to the people. I mean, even if the State Electoral Commission didn't do a lot as required in terms of sensitization and also voter education, don't you think the people who understand and know that the local government is the closest to them should actually have or show some form of interest in these elections to elect their local representatives? Going forward also, what would you recommend? Is the problem with funding from the State Independent Electoral Commission, and how can we improve in subsequent local government elections?
Yes, thank you. You know, before you have the D-Day of an election like this, a lot of processes and steps must have taken place. You would expect that before a day like this, all political parties must have conducted internal primaries. And I tell you, for most of the political parties, you didn't have very serious primaries. Even the APC, there were not recorded proper primaries that were covered. And in all of these things have a way of disturbing the confidence of average voters from voting. And then you saw the news that 48 hours before the election, PDP pulled out, one of the political parties pulled out of of the race. So these are all issues that I feel that when people collate all of these concerns, it can have effect about the confidence that the people have in coming out to vote for elections like this. Again, what is the way forward? I believe that even though there are still issues with INEC's performance in elections, INEC has come a long way if you compare the way they handle elections and the way state independent electoral commissions across the country handle elections. It's a long way. Governors must do, especially the governors must do more in funding the state independent electoral commissions. That's one. Number two, ensuring that they are up to speed with new technology. I tell you, if you check the internet, I'm not sure the State Independent Electoral Commission has a website or has social media presence that one can interface with. And in this day and age, in 2025, that shouldn't be the case. So we hope that this will probably be a platform for future elections for governors and for the present governor and the other governors to build, to ensure that they properly fund these independent electoral commissions so that they are able to do much more. If not, if we are not careful, local government elections will just continue to be the sham that they have been in the past.
Absolutely.
And that will kill the government that is closest to the people, the grassroots government.
Now, Henry, finally, before I let you go, I'm not sure if you're in Akure or in a different location in Ondo State, but from your observation, are you satisfied with the security personnel on ground? How was security, and was there any untoward incident that was reported?
Security was perfect. People stayed at home. It was peaceful. It felt more like there was no bone of contention, so it was largely peaceful. Security officials were there, so there was no problem with security at all.
Thank you so much for your insights, Henry Olonimoyo. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thanks.